Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Monday, February the 4th. Today is National Football Hangover Day. It's the day after the Super Bowl or day after the big game, whatever you want to call it. National Hemp Day, National Thank a Mail Carrier Day, National Homemade Soup Day, and National Create a Vacuum Day.
We're making homemade soup today.
Yum. First thing this morning, I was eating roast beef and mashed potatoes and carrots. Heidi,
I come
what are you doing?
What? I said,
That was
you're having this for breakfast?
Well, it was leftovers from the other day, but if we don't eat them after a couple days, then they get thrown away. And I was like, that was way too good to throw away. So early this morning, I'm eating roast beef, mashed potatoes, and carrots. Today's Movie Star Monday, going to have Ernie Hudson back on the show. Ernie is such a cool guy. We talked to him a few months ago. I think it was like October, November, something like that. They had a new season of a new show coming out called Carl Weber's Family Business. Well, it just wrapped up last week. And we're going to find out about the Duncan family, and I'm going to chat a little bit about all of that with Mr. Ernie Hudson on today's edition of Movie Star Monday.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the Weird Gift of the Day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for surveys and studies and such. Exeter University found that people who wake up early in the morning have much stronger mental health. I like that. I should be like Man of Steel mental health. I get up early. So what if you stay up late and you also get up early and you don't get much sleep?
Then you don't have hardly any mental health at all.
I'm back in trouble again then. I've noticed that it's harder and harder for me to fall asleep at night as I'm getting older. And then I wake up earlier and earlier all the time.
I used to have a hard time staying asleep.
Yeah.
And I don't have that problem anymore.
No, she's my wife, so I can attest to that. I will wake up in the middle of the night, and I'll look over, and you are just zonked completely.
I've been sleeping really good.
And then I'm laying there trying to sleep myself. I'm like, okay. I remember when you used to complain to me about this.
I used to be up all night long, all the
and
time.
I used to sleep really good. So I don't know.
Since I would say since like June, I've been sleeping like a baby.
We should trade sides of the bed. Maybe that's what it is. This has been Surveys and Studies and such on the John and Heidi Show. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. And this is your brain on drugs. Police in Maine say a drunken man took the wrong lift and tried to get into a house he mistakenly thought was his home. Cape Elizabeth police say a man from Falmouth mistakenly got into a lift that was summoned by a different man who lived next door. What? Police say the man was dropped off early Saturday and staggered toward a nearby home, believing it to be his. Police added that he caused a commotion trying to get in, leading the homeowner to call police. It says here the intoxicated man was taken back to the police station to sober up. The homeowner did not want to press charges, and the drunken man said he is very sorry. So they were starting in the same place and ending next door to each other?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't they have ridden in the same car?
I don't know.
I mean, guys share a lift. If you're in the same place and you're going home next door to each other, you could ride in the same car. I just think that's weird. What a bizarre story. Yeah, that happened. And that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Jersey Shore is getting a Bachelor-style spin-off in which 20 women will compete for the affection of DJ Pauly D and Vinny. It's called Double Shot of Love. Oh, yeah. you're going to need a double shot of something.
I don't even know who they are.
Oh, they're from Jersey Shore. There are a couple of guys from that. They were popular 20 years ago when that first came out.
Yeah,
and
so
then
that's exactly what you want, is a 20-year has-been.
Is it, well, don't say that. Is it 20 years? Maybe it's 10 years ago. When was that? I don't know. Whenever Jersey Shore came out. Now it's popular again because they got like a reboot.
I think these shows just reek of desperation. They're horrible.
Yeah, it's not our thing. If you like it, that's your thing. Matthew McConaughey says he's not actually nude in the movie Serenity. So there's a scene where people think he's nude, but he's like, nah, I wasn't nude. Okay. They asked me if I would, and I was like, nah. Not all right.
Oh, my gosh.
And Corey Feldman is said to be shopping around a documentary about the child sex abuse in Hollywood. So he's trying
That's
to find...
been happening for a long time.
Yeah.
I can't believe somebody... Well, I suppose nobody's going to pick it up because they're Hollywood.
Well, that's probably what's going on. So I wonder if an independent agency will finally step in
Somebody
and work
needs
with them.
to. It needs to be exposed.
It's a story that needs to be told before he's no longer with us. He's not living the cleanest lifestyle. Every time I see him, I'm so concerned for him. I'm like, man... He was
all of these child actors need to come together and work together on it is what needs to happen.
The whole thing is sad. This has been your Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert. Hear awesome 80s music from Scandal, featuring Patti Smythe, A Flock of Seagulls, Richard Page of Mr. Mister, Tony Lewis from The Outfield, Pretty Poison, Thomas Dolby, and more. Also, meet people from your favorite 80s movies, like Robert Hayes from Airplane, E.G. Daily from Valley Girl, and more. May 3rd and May 4th. Get more info now at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Use promo code RADIO to save $25 per ticket.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. The actor who played the lead role in Roger was the lead role, rather, in the production of Rent Live. He broke his foot during the final rehearsal, so they had to pre-record some of those scenes.
Okay.
Did you
no.
even know about this? Did you know what it was?
I don't know. I still don't know what you're talking about.
Anybody? Bueller? Apparently, it was on television, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't watch that stuff.
I don't either. I have a link in the show notes for anybody that cares. But it was supposed to be Rent Live, but some of the scenes had to be pre-recorded. If he broke his foot during the final rehearsal and they had to pre-record some scenes, when did they pre-record them? If that was the final rehearsal, did they record the whole thing ahead of time and then just... I don't know. That's the thing that doesn't make sense to me.
I have no idea.
Let's move on. I'm getting a headache even thinking of this. Pennsylvania prison officials say somebody has been flying a drone over the recreation yard to film Bill Cosby while he's outside. Maybe
they're just
trying to contraband in there.
Or are they just checking out security and see where there's weak spots so they can break somebody out?
I'm just saying,
if
there's a drone flying over and you don't know whose it is, shoot it down. Assume that they're there to do a prison break. And if you have a drone and you're doing this kind of stuff, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Like there was one that was flying around at an airport recently and caused all kinds of problems. Why? Why are you doing that? It's a terrible idea. Liam Hemsworth. Why do we have all these? These all have to do with movie stars. This should have been part of Movie Star Monday. Liam Hemsworth said that he's a very lucky man to be married to Miley Ray Cyrus. So they got
I like
married
him.
Recently. He seems like a neat dude. And
he makes poor decisions, obviously.
Would you stop? And
seems like a neat guy.
One last story that should have probably been part of Movie Star, should have been part of Big Screen, Little Screen. Harvey Weinstein was rumored to be at the Sundance Film Festival, but he had not been seen publicly. So, what, he was just hanging out in a hotel room being creepy? Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. Why would you
seems
go
out
to
of
it?
Character.
Why would you go there if you're not even going to be a part of any of the stuff?
I don't know.
I mean, he was rumored to have been there. I don't know. He probably was not there. I doubt it. If nobody saw him there, but the rumor is, oh, you hear Harvey's here? Anybody seen him? No. But I've been told he's here, and I'm going to perpetuate that rumor. And a video has gone viral of a North Dakota driver spinning out of control and hitting a patch of ice. Well, they hit the patch of ice, and that's what made them spin out of control. Luckily, nobody was hurt. The man told police he was on his way to dinner at the fanciest restaurant in all of North Dakota. Well done.
Arby's was open in those conditions.
Would you stop it? I like Arby's. You just go over there and
I'll have the roast beef.
Sit down and behave. New Jersey police arrested 6 people at a youth basketball game after 2 mothers got into a fight. I can tell you, I can absolutely see that happening. Our daughter was in basketball for half a year. I finally said, we can't do this anymore. Because this laughing one over here, we don't know anything about sports. I don't even know where this was coming from.
But I very quickly turned into one of those people, didn't I?
She's like, box her out, Taylor, box her out. Run! I'm like, what are you doing? Who are you? Where did this come from? We don't know anything about sports. I'm like, what does boxer out even mean? You apparently heard someone say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from
Heidi,
either.
would you please sit down? They're asking us to leave again. I can see where that would happen. New Jersey police, 6 people arrested at a youth basketball game when 2 mothers started duking it out. Yeah. And finally, Denmark is building a wall along their southern border with Germany to keep out wild hogs.
I saw this.
That are infected with swine flu. What? What in the world? So wouldn't the people on the German side want to do something about the wild hogs with swine flu?
Why not just shoot the wild hogs?
I don't know. It sounds dangerous to me, the whole thing, but get a link to that story as well. That's all in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? Afraid to open your own mail or even answer your telephone? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. You have rights, and we'll make sure you get them. Call and speak with Mike Habib, the tax expert who will handle your case at 877-78-TAXES or online at myirs.taxrelief.com. That's 877-78-TAXES or myirs.taxrelief.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on another Movie Star Monday. We've got one of the busiest men in Hollywood joining us today, actor Ernie Hudson. In addition to being an actor, he's also the executive producer of a program that just wrapped up. We first talked to Ernie about, several months ago. It was just getting started. The Family Business on BET was just starting last time we spoke, Ernie, and now the final episode just aired last week. How did that first season go of The Family Business on BET?
It went great. I mean, the numbers are way up. The fans are finding it. The show is really amazing. I'm very proud of it.
The Family Business on BET, and I know, like I said, when you and I had a chance to talk before the season started, we were kind of trying to describe what the show was like, and now that people have had a chance to see it, are there any things that surprise you as far as what people liked the most?
Yeah, I'm amazed that it's about a family, and I play the patriarch, but all the children or the different characters are so dynamic, and it really did come together, and you do see this family and the struggle to stay together, the struggle to be their own individual selves, and just it's just wonderful storytelling by Carl Weber.
And now, how long ago did you guys start working on the television version of this program?
Well, you know what? We went into it 2 years ago. I made a little movie with Carl Weber, who's 27-time New York Times bestseller. He's written a lot of books. He has 9 books in the series called The Family Business. And we shot a little independent movie. He held on to it, came back a year ago and made a second movie. But then he told me he wanted to get it to TV, and so I got on board, and we finally got it to BET. And they decided to show the 2 movies in 8-part episodes.
Nice.
So, and I'm amazed Trey Calloway, who's with Pride Ashton Studio, Trey directed them all, but did an amazing job of just storytelling. It's pretty incredible.
And one of the things that I think is incredible, you've got so many projects going on. In addition to the one that we're talking about on BET, The Family Business, you also have a program called LA's Finest, and you're kind of filming simultaneously. You're doing one, then doing the other. Do you ever slip into the wrong character for the wrong show?
No, characters are pretty well-defined for me. I think for me, once I sort of understand the story and what that universe is and who these people are in relation to the character, they're very clearly in their own dimension. So I never really have a problem with it. I never really see them quite alike. I know they're all me, and of course they all share me in common. But I like to think it's a different world.
And then another world is Grace and Frankie, and the final season that's coming up here. They're going to start shooting in March. Are you involved in that one as well? Do you know?
They've reached out. They haven't came with an offer, which is the only time I take anything completely real. But I know that they're interested, and I would love to go back in the season finale. I love the relationship that my character has with Lily Tomlin. It's just working with that cast is just an extraordinary experience. Jane Fonda, Martin Sheen, Sam Watterson. It's they have reached out, so I think it probably will.
And then one other thing that I'm super excited about, I'm a huge fan of the movie Ghostbusters, and they're talking about a Ghostbusters 3, and I know it's very, very early, but I'm sure that you have people asking you about that quite a bit. Is that kind of exciting for you to know that they're working on a third chapter there?
It's very exciting. You know, I talked to Ivan Reitman and Jason Reitman. Jason, of course, was a little kid when we did the first movie, and in the second movie, he was a little older, and he plays the kid at the party who tells us he preferred He-Man over the Ghostbusters.
Really?
But, you know, I've known him since he was a little guy. And then he's sort of, you know, in his own right, he's directed some amazing movies. He's an award-winning director. And the fact that Jason is directing it, which is why I reached out to them to congratulate him. I just think he's an amazing director. He did Juno and Up in the Air and a bunch of great films. And the fact that Ivan, his dad, produced and directed the first two movies, is going to be producing it. I know the franchise is going to be in great hands.
Yeah.
And they have not offered me any deal or even been clear whether the characters from the original movies will be there. But I'm just happy for the fans who've just been so generous to me over all the years that they're going to have a movie, I think, that is going to be, you know, in the direction they've been hoping for.
Well, and I saw kind of a online somebody guessing that maybe Egon would be back as a ghost. I said, I don't know how that would work, but I said, you know, there's amazing things they can do with technology now, and I would absolutely love to see your character back on that. Again, tonight is the final night. It's the season finale for The Family Business on BET. We're visiting with Ernie Hudson right now. Ernie, are there any ideas about maybe a second season for The Family Business?
Yeah, I think so. It's sort of in BET's hands. I think in the next month, I'm executive producing on it as well as Carl, and I think they have to make a decision. They haven't, you know, done that as yet, but I think in the next few weeks we'll hear from them. I know, like I said, the show has done great. Their numbers are up, and I'd be surprised, but I think the show is going to be somewhere, if not BET. I think one of the other networks would be, because it really is a great show, a fun show to do. And, you know, I'm just having fun. I have another show on the Cartoon Network called Hot Streets that will start on the 24th. So that's going to be a lot of fun, too, adult cartoon animation and yeah, there's a lot of things going on. You're a very sought-after man. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us because I know you got a lot of projects you're working on, but thanks for taking a few minutes to visit with us here. Oh, I've enjoyed talking to you. Take care. Again, our guest today has been Ernie Hudson for this Movie Star Monday. The program, The Family Business on BET, just wrapped up their first season. I'm hoping there's a season 2. He's got a lot of other great projects to work on as well. We're going to throw some links in our show notes to all of those. You'll find that at johnandheidishow.com. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Cows don't like Willie Nelson. I don't know why. It says a dairy cow will produce up to 3% more milk when listening to music, but they don't like country music, especially Willie Nelson.
I can see that.
They need something with a good beat. So if it's got a really good beat... So wait, you're saying Willie Nelson don't have a good beat? What if it was Willie Nelson rapping or something? Mm-hmm. Have you thought of that? Anyway, something with a good beat, cows will produce more milk. So there you go. Now you know. I did not know that. Bizarre stuff.
That's fascinating.
That is. And it is today's fun fact.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert. Hear awesome 80s music from Scandal, featuring Patty Smythe, A Flock of Seagulls, Richard Page of Mr. Mister, Tony Lewis from The Outfield, Pretty Poison, Thomas Dolby, and more. Also, meet people from your favorite 80s movies, like Robert Hayes from Airplane, E.G. Daily from Valley Girl, and more. May 3rd and May 4th. Get more info now at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Use Use promo code RADIO to save $25 per ticket.
Now fear this. It's fun with phobias.
I like these.
Xanthophobia. 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 What do you think that is?
I honestly don't know.
If you have this, you could not watch The Simpsons. Fear of the color yellow.
Oh.
Yeah. Fear
I
of
definitely
the color
don't have that. That's
yellow.
one of
Nor
my
do I.
favorite colors.
I like yellow. I remember you bought me a yellow shirt one time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I don't know, I'm going to wear that. And then I wore it, and like all day long I had people saying, wow, that's a good color for you. I was like, it is?
Yeah.
So
yellow's
you'll notice
good.
Heidi has not gotten me a yellow shirt ever since. She didn't want the ladies looking at me.
Oh, yeah.
I have shirts that say, my wife rocks. She bought that for me.
You asked for another one because you wore your other one out. I was like, are you seriously wearing that again?
It was bad.
I tried to throw that shirt away a few times.
dug
You
it
keep
out of the
digging
trash.
it out of the car.
I say, hey, you bought it. It's funny because people say, oh, I love that shirt. And then I say, yeah, my wife got it for me. And they laugh every time.
And that's what you like about it.
But it was true. It was funny. All right, that's going to do it for Fun with Phobias.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now, weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Today's weird gift is a game called Watch Your Mouth. It's a thing where you put things in your mouth.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't know.
game.
You put things in your mouth and you got to talk. So that's your WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Weird
I
gift
would
for
not
today.
ever play that game.
I bet you would.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, we'll see. I ordered it, so we'll find
I
out.
wouldn't. But I did see, and there wasn't a link to it. Otherwise, it would have sent it to them so that they could put it on the website. But it was it's like a hat that had forks around it, all the way around it, and like you're supposed to flip your head and get the fork to come to your mouth so that you can take a bite of food. It was the funniest thing to watch. This lady with this hat in her head.
It sounds dangerous.
And I said, I could probably hit my goal for this year if I ate all of my meals like that because she was moving and only got like one bite out of the whole time that she worked on it. It was hilarious.
Sounds really dangerous.
It was really funny.
We should get to the weird news. Police arrested a man who smashed his wife in the face with a burrito at Taco Bell. What? This is such a bad thing. So it says they got upset at each other and they went to Taco Bell and got lunch, and he smashed a Taco Bell burrito in the lady's face.
That's unusual. There's usually such a high class of clientele.
Would you stop it? It's just a sad thing. A 49-year-old
Hope they didn't
victim
get any on the linen tablecloths.
and a 49-year-old burrito smasher. So you'd think they'd be old enough to know better, but he got thrown in jail, misdemeanor count of battery. So there you go, and assault with a deadly weapon. So I'm just kidding on the second one. That was just a little Taco Bell joke, but and I shouldn't joke about it because none of that's funny. I do have a link to that story in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Portland police are looking for a thief who stole an expensive diamond ring from a pawn shop and then tried to sell it to that same pawn shop
oh, wow.
the very next day.
That takes that.
Not brains. It don't take brains.
No, it's not
all
what I was
that
gonna
glitters.
say.
Yeah, all that glitters is the name of the place, and they've got surveillance video showing this guy coming into the store at closing time. People working there. And then you see the man at the store, and he appears to know what he's looking for. And then he's caught on camera, grabbing a $12,000 ring from an employee's hand. And then he got away. Then 24 hours later, he showed back up at the same store.
I cannot believe that.
With a friend to pawn the ring. The general manager asked the suspect, hey, where'd you get this? And he said, oh, I bought it in Las Vegas. And then they said, it looks a lot like one that was stolen from here. So after an argument, the suspect tried to grab the ring again.
That is ridiculous.
But he was not able to get it as he...
Where was this?
This all happened in Portland, Oregon.
Oh.
So there you go.
There has to be more than one pawn shop in Portland.
I think that it was a different location, but it was another All That Glitters. So they stole it from one store and tried to pawn it at another location. But either way, you don't do that. That's a bad idea. But that is definitely going to land you in 2 days.
I thought you said he took it to the exact same pawn shop.
Oh, I don't know.
Like I was just in here yesterday. Hey, you want to buy this?
You want to buy this
from
back?
me?
I got it. That's definitely today's moment of time. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. We no longer do the dad joke of the day. In place of that, we have a new thing called These Three Things. Heidi, tell me, what do these three things have in common?
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Bacon, comics, and malls. Bacon, comics, and malls. Everybody think about what those three things might have in common.
I don't know. Greasy people like them all.
Would you stop it? No. Would you? You go sit in the corner. No, they all come in strips. Bacon strips, comic strips, and strip malls.
And clubs.
Would you stop it? Oh, that's why it's not four things. It's only these three things. I'm already second guessing this thing. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It's one of these kind of touching stories. It's a really neat story, and it's a sad story, too, because this young girl, 4 years old, Meredith, had a sweet little dog, Abby, and Abby passed away, which is always sad. But here's the thing that's neat. Abby decided she was going to write a letter to God. And she asked if when Abby got to heaven, Meredith was the girl's name. She's the one that wrote the letter, not the dog. I think I said Abby. But the dog was 14 years old. And
The dog didn't write the letter.
no, I wanted to clear that up.
I'm glad you cleared
I think I might have misspoke. So Abby wrote a letter to God asking God to recognize her. And she put a photo in with this letter. And she said, I miss her very much. Goes on to say, I'm happy that you let me have my dog, even though she got sick. I hope you'll play with her. She likes to swim and play with balls.
How
I'm sending a
sweet.
picture, so when you see her, you'll know that she's my dog. I miss her, and I love her, Meredith. So that is really cool. But then the letter that Abby gets back, or the letter that Meredith, see, I keep saying it. Abby's the dog. The letter that Meredith got back. So a letter came back to Meredith, the little girl, says, Abby has arrived safely in heaven. Having the picture was a big help. I recognized her right away. Abby's not sick anymore. Her spirit is here with me, just like it stays with you in your heart. Abby's loved being your dog. Since we don't need our bodies in heaven, I don't have any pockets to keep your picture, so I'm sending this back to you.
Aww.
And let's see, it says, thank you for the beautiful letter, and thank your mother for helping you write it and sending it to me. What a wonderful mother you have. I picked her especially for you. And it goes on, and I'm getting choked up even right now.
I know you
Isn't
are.
that cool, though? What a cool story.
That's really, really
cool. So
cool.
they have no idea who did the
Who
return
replied.
letter, but it was signed God, so I think that's really neat.
I think I've read somewhere that post offices, there are certain post offices around the country where if something is just addressed to God, that some people do read them and
Do you
reply
remember
to those.
the movie Dear God with Greg Kinnear? There was a movie.
Vaguely.
I loved that movie. I've always liked Greg Kinnear. I tried to get him on our show for a Movie Star Monday. I've not heard back
He
from
will
him.
not
He
speak to
doesn't-
you.
Nobody calls me back. Why would you call me back? My messages sound a lot like a stalker, but I'm not. I promise. Somebody will vouch for me. Ernie Hudson will vouch for me. Talk to him today. No, this is a great story. I have a link to this in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. It's in the little good news section there. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Movie Star Monday.